Well, it's been a while since we've done another video, but I've been working a lot. I'm wearing another shirt by one of my favorite YouTubers and motivational speakers, Nino Brown. Says, "I want dollars, you want followers. We are not the same." Pretty much an explanation why I haven't been doing that much videos or even posting on Instagram or Facebook. I personally think a lot of it's just a waste of time. I'm just focusing on mainly work. I'm working in Red Lobster as a cook. I'm also working at Bristol Farms and meat and seafood department, so I can understand more about the food and restaurant industry, and also just moving forward and creating a business for myself, learn all I can. But anyways, title of this video, kind of like a extension of the first video I've never made years ago called "I'm Not Antisocial, I'm Anti-Bullshit." Now, here's another reason why I don't have a lot of friends. I do not associate myself with that many people. Because I realized this about me a long time ago, is that I have a very, very low tolerance for stupid bullshit and drama. Okay. There was this joke that I've heard from the man who was the host of Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe, and he was doing an interview years ago. And he told the host this joke. There were these two guys that were inspecting a sewage tank underground. And I think it was like their first day on the job. One guy turns to the other and says, "Hey, what were you doing before this?" And he said, "Well, I was a school teacher. I used to teach kids for a living." And the guy who was a school teacher turned to the other guy and asked, "So what did you used to do?" And the other guy said, "I was a psychologist. I would talk with people about their issues and problems in life." And then the guy who used to be a school teacher said to the guy who used to be a psychologist, "So why are you doing this for a living? Shoveling shit underground." And then the guy who used to be a psychologist said, "I got tired of dealing with other people's shit." Which I can totally relate to. Okay. You know, I've come to a point as of right now which I just don't want to deal with other people's problems and issues anymore. Okay? Not unless they're working on actually bettering themselves and putting themselves in a better position in life like I am. See, I have come a long ways from years ago, coming from the worst point in my life to being where I'm at now. You know, which I have goals. I have a vision of myself and where I want to be years from now. I take care of myself. I take care of my finances. I take care of my physical health. I take care of my mental and spiritual, emotional health by reading good books on how to better yourself, on spirituality and self help, autobiographies of people who have more successful lives than I do. And I choose to associate with very, very few people. And the reason why is because I come to see this. Like one of my older friends said before, and it makes more sense the older I get, the more I see how other people are and the way they live their lives. And he's told me this: to be normal is to be insane. Or, in other words, I put it this way: to be normal basically means to not have your shit together. And the problem is with a lot of people that I come across every day is that most people honestly do not have their shit together. A lot of people, they don't really love themselves. They're not happy with who they are, and they're very insecure, and they do all these things with their lives, and which is not healthy and is not helpful for them. Like, hold on a second. Let me just take a little hit from the pipe. Like, here's an example. I mean, it's understandable that when you are young, like 18, 19, 21, 22 years old, that you're going to make bad mistakes. I have made mistakes. We all make mistakes when we are young because we're very naive and we're immature and we don't have ourselves together. But I've come across people who are in like their 30s and their 40s and even their 50s and they're still making the same stupid and bad mistakes that they've been making ever since they were like 20. I'm thinking, bro, what's the matter with you? You still act and think like a very irresponsible child. And you're of your age now. I mean, obviously what it looks like to me is that you do not have your shit together. And also, you're probably never going to get your shit together. Because one of the things I also realized about life is this. If you don't have your shit together, life is going to end up kicking your ass. It will kick your ass. You know, if you're stupid, if you're lazy, if you're irresponsible, you have no discipline in your life, and all those other things, life is going to knock you out harder than a punch from Mike Tyson. And that's what I had to go through several years ago when I was at a homeless shelter, was that I was knocked out by life because I realized that I was involving myself way too much with other people's bullshit and drama. And the problem is that a lot of people that don't have their shit together, they want to drag other people down into their shit. And then they expect you to go ahead and have you dig them out of their shit. And it's just like, no, man, you brought yourself into the shit. Now you have to get yourself out of it. And see, the problem is that a lot of people, they're just stupid and lazy. And that's why their lives are messed up. When I was at the homeless shelter years ago, I mean, there were some guys like myself that, you know, we were going through some things that were a bit beyond our control at the time, but we were working on ourselves in order to go ahead and not end up being in a place like that again. But there are guys that I've seen that, oh my God. It's no wonder you're homeless. Because you're stupid. You're lazy. You don't want to work. You don't want to take care of yourself. You have no ambition to do anything in life. You know, I honestly think that a lot of guys are homeless because they're too stupid and lazy to function in the real world in normal society. And it's like, I have seen guys who have graduated from the rehabilitation programs at the homeless shelter where I was, and then they go back again because they make the same stupid mistakes over and over and over again, and they're never going to learn. You know, it's just like, I realized at a certain point, seeing people like that and seeing friends or people I thought were used to be my friends and people in my families, that at a lot of times you cannot worry about other people. You need to be concerned about yourself and how your life is going to turn out to be. And that's really the only way that people are going to go ahead and have a good life. Is that you have to be responsible for your own self. Worry about you. What everyone else is doing is really none of your business at the end of the day. Because it gets down to this, is that if we really want a good life, then we will go off and get it on our own. I mean, not to give an example that money is everything, but guys like Jeff Bezos, the founder and CEO of Amazon, and Elon Musk, the founder and CEO of Tesla, how do you think they got to where they are? No one gave them anything. They didn't ask for nothing, really, for anybody. They had a bigger and better vision of what they want to do with themselves. You know, Jeff Bezos, he founded Amazon as an online bookstore, whereas Elon Musk, you know, he wanted to do solar panels and make electric cars, but they moved on to doing bigger and better things with themselves. Now Amazon, even though, of course, we all know about Amazon having certain issues and Elon Musk with Tesla having certain issues within the company as far as overworking their workers, not compensating them, and even I've heard there's some racism going on Tesla. These guys, you got to give them a lot of credit for their desire and ambition to want to make something of themselves in life. And not only to go ahead and make a lot of money, but to change the world. Okay? See, the thing is that most people don't do that. They don't have any care in the world to do anything with their lives. And that's why they end up suffering. You know, a lot of people, in my opinion, honestly, they're too stupid, they're too lazy, and they're too irresponsible to have a good life. You know, a lot of it also has to do with your parents. A lot of these guys had mediocre parents. But some of them also, they might have come from a great family, but then they went down the wrong path in life. And then, as I said before, if you're stupid and you're lazy and you're irresponsible, life is going to end up kicking your ass. You know, and that's just the way it is. See, in life, the way you approach it is that you don't win or lose. You win and learn. That's why I've been learning from reading the books I read, watching guys on YouTube, like Nino Brown, for example. He talks a lot about that stuff. I would totally recommend people to go ahead and check out guys like Nino Brown so you can learn about how to hustle, how to become an entrepreneur, and how to better your life. Even though he's pretty crass with his language and how he talks from more like a street ghetto black man perspective. But it's like a lot of people, their lives suck because their attitude and how they see themselves suck. And it's just like I come to a point which I don't want to hang out. I do not want to hang out with people that have a lot of baggage and have a lot of problems and drama in their life and are just going to drag me down and hold me back from where I want to be and where I want to go. It's like I would much rather be alone and riding on a unicycle going somewhere than to be like a car with one good engine and a bunch of flat tires. I'm just tired. I'm tired of other people's problems and bullshit when they're not going anywhere and they have no desire to want to go ahead and turn things around and to better themselves. It's like dealing with people who are a lost cause, you know. And it's just like what one of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, said in his 1999 special, You're All Diseased. And he talked about children. And he said, not all children are smart and clever. Kids are like any group of people. A few winners, a whole lot of losers. And that's the deal. Not everyone's going to win. There's a lot of people that are going to lose. But it's not ultimately because your parents, the president, or society, or whatever. It's because of you. You make yourself lose. Just as you make yourself win if you want to. How bad is it that you actually want to make a good life of yourself? If you don't really want it, then your life is not going to be all that great. But if you really want it, like myself, you're going to do what you can in order to get it. That's why, as of right now, I'm working 7 days a week between 2 jobs. I'm saving up my money and I'm investing myself in my career. I don't go out and party. I don't go to the club. I don't go to the bar. I don't hang with many people. And when I do hang with people, I only hang out with like one friend or a few friends, like once every few months now, because I'm so busy focusing on me and bettering myself. I don't have time for all that bullshit that everyone else is into. It's like there's a lot of young people around my age, they're not working towards anything. They're working during the week in their job they don't like so they can go out and blow it on the weekends, you know, or on video games and it's like a lot of people they don't go ahead and spend their time investing in themselves. They're just too busy just focus on, oh, I need to get a lot of likes and followers on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, or check out what this guy's doing. I know I do some of that too. I mean, I check out Instagram mainly for looking at women who are models, mainly from Colombia, because they're some of the most beautiful women in the world. But I don't get too caught up in that. I'm more so caught up with bettering my life and myself. Whereas everyone else, they just want to get caught up in a whole just drama and bullshit. And that doesn't serve them any well and doesn't make them go anywhere in life. Hold on a second. But anyways, it reminds me of this one man who I've been watching a lot of his videos on YouTube. His name is Dan Pena. Dan Pena, he's a multi-millionaire who's worth $500 million, who makes a living coaching millionaires and billionaires all around the world. And one of the things that he said, and it does resonate with me for a bit, and there's truth to it, but he said this: you don't, and what he talks to millionaires and billionaires and how they can become more successful. And he said, you do not need friends because friends are problems. And he said this: eagles, they fly alone. And it makes me think is that, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I hear all these stories of people who are very wealthy and they're very successful. They don't have a lot of friends because they're too busy chasing their business and their purpose in life and doing something more incredible with themselves than ever. And it made me think this is that highly successful and productive people are, in fact, like eagles. Because the eagle is the highest flying bird. And the reason why it flies alone is because it has a bigger and better vision of itself and where it wants to go. And it's not going to lower itself down for anything until it reaches where it wants to go. And that's where I'm at right now. That's just where I am. I don't have time to deal with people who just want to stay more so right here in life. I'm not talking about just being all where I'm very wealthy and I have a lot of possessions. I'm talking about personal happiness and true fulfillment. And that's just not a desire for most people. It's just not. That's why I get frustrated and I get bored with people all the time. And it's just like, where are all the ambitious people? Where are the people that want to be different and actually do something with themselves? And I come to realize this: they're very far and few and in between. And then you got to just be comfortable being alone, and then just becoming your own best friend and learning to get to become closer to you and understanding more so who you are and where you want to be. That should be your top priority. Not getting involved with other people who aren't going anywhere. Not getting involved with people who just want to drag you down and all their problems and bullshit. Okay? That's no way to live. There are far better things that you can do with your time than associating with people who are just not of the same ambition or level in life as you are. Okay? I'm going to bring up again what Kobe said. I have a poster right here in the garage, and I'm going to read what it says real quick. Hold on. Kobe said this: I have nothing in common with lazy people who blame others for their lack of success. Great things come from hard work and perseverance. No excuses. You know, one thing I also found about Kobe is that he didn't really have any friends. Because you know what his best friend was? Basketball. That was his main love, other than, of course, his wife and kids, was what he was doing and making a mark on the world. And that's really what my main love is right now, is doing what I want to do in order to become something that's bigger and better than other people. And just realizing that is my true best friend, as I am my own true best friend. Quite a lot to think about, you know, but just something I've been thinking about for a while and that I might want to get off my chest. Because, I mean, I deal with a lot of people, no disrespect, but a lot of people at work, people I see every day that just honestly, they're not going anywhere. And it's like they're just stuck right about here and they want to stay stuck there. And it's just like I'm just not interested. I don't really care to hang out with you people anymore. I'm done. You know. And for those of you guys that feel the same way, don't feel discouraged that you're alone or whatever. I mean, a lot of times you're better off being alone than to deal with the bullshit and drama of other people in their lives. Okay? You need to just focus on getting yourself together and being the best you can be. And then everyone else needs to be responsible for themselves, and you just let nature take its course. Anyways, I don't know when I might do another video. Right now, I mean, I'm just focused on other things, and I'll make time for it when I'm not so tired from coming home from work and I have something to say. But as of right now, I mean, at this point, I got other priorities. All right, guys. I mean, if you want to go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the channel, and just comment on the bottom if you agree or disagree with what I have to say. Maybe you want to express how you feel in a similar regard or have experiences feeling the same way. I mean, I appreciate all of that. But like I said before, I mean, my YouTube channel as of right now is not the number one most important thing, or even like probably the top 5. Okay. I'm just being honest, because as of right now, with this whole coronavirus situation going on, I'm just trying to work hard wherever I can, as much as I can, given that these times are still pretty unstable and we don't know what's going to happen. So until things get a bit more settled down, then I think I'm going to be regularly posting more videos. But as of right now, I mean, that's not really the case. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching and tuning in and checking out this video. All I can say is that I'll see you when I see you. And just do you. And don't do other people's bullshit. Peace out. Have a good night.